Okay, so good evening, everyone, and welcome to Naveda's 80 is the New 50 webinar panel discussions number 4. Yay! So I am Veena Dansingani, founder director of and alopecia hair loss specialist of Naveda Integral Wellness Center, which is the first value-based integral wellness center in Asia Pacific, offering a transformative health experience to its clients and with a mission and a vision to open our flagship centers in more than 20 countries by 2024. So Naveda invites people to command the functions of the body, mind, and spirit to improve integral well-being, and also to promote healthy lifestyle changes through science-based wellness and prevention programs and solutions. So Naveda has launched 80 is the New 50 campaign, which is it's a panel discussion as well. We had our first panel discussion on the 21st of January. It is a campaign which has been inspired. We've been inspired by our director, Mr. Lal Darenani, who will be turning 80, or should I say 50, in the next 71 days. So we're counting down days now. And really does not look and feel his age. So that is a celebration indeed. So we know that there are many role models like him around the world, and Naveda has made it its mission to get to know and connect with as many people like these who can be a true inspiration to the 50 plus and even younger. So as we know that life expectancy has increased, and we are seeing people living up to the ages of 80 plus, 90 plus, 100 plus even, and advances in healthcare are allowing people to live longer than ever before. And this trend is only going to increase as new medical technology and procedures keep coming. However, many people of this age also go through many physical, mental, and emotional challenges like dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, osteoporosis, arthritis, heart diseases, depression, loneliness, and more. So does aging really have to be associated with decay and degeneration? Or can one still enjoy life to its fullest, being happy, healthy, active, alive, in love, full of zest and enthusiasm? So what are some of the skills that we can adapt and learn from a young age so that it can help us become more resilient towards various challenges that come with aging? So today, Naveda has invited some experts and young at heart to the panel discussion who will share with us their expertise and wisdom on what it takes to adapt and be resilient despite their age, and they will also share tips with us on how to be active, happy, joyful, healthy, and passionate about life. So I'd like to welcome all of you to this panel discussion. Mrs. Poonam Mehta, who is the president and educationist and counselor of an NGO, Be the Change in Hong Kong. Mr. Gulmir Puri, who is the chairman of Mertec's group of companies and a very dear friend of Mr. Lal Darenani. Miss Julie Lewis, who's an expedition leader and resilient consultant in Abu Dhabi. She is a resilience guide, organizing rewilding adventures, bringing people outside their domestic comfort zones and helping to build resilience through enlarging the scope of their experiences. And of course, we have Dr. Sanjay Nagakar, who is our Naveda's in-house scientist, and much, much more. Last but not least, we have our campaign ambassador, Mr. Lal Darenani, who is an inspiration to all of us, all his friends, to people around the world. And we are counting down to his 80th birthday, which is 71 days now. So big welcome to all of you. And thank you so much for offering your precious time and to also share your wisdom and thoughts on this topic. First, maybe invite Dr. Sanjay to introduce 80 is the New 50 concept, the initiative, the mission behind it, the vision behind it. So thank you, Dr. Sanjay. Could you please share with us?
Thank you, Veena. Welcome all the guests. As Veena said, this is our fourth panel discussion within a span of 2 weeks, I believe so, or a little bit more than 2 weeks. The whole idea of 80 is new 50. The tagline is very interesting. 80 is new 50. You can interpret 80 is new 50 from many perspectives. One of the perspective is, as we said, we are inspired by our director, Mr. Lal. Mr. Lal is an investor in Naveda, as well as a very, how to say, every time I'm appreciating you, I missing the word. I have to find a new word for you. Okay, so it's something like that. It's a very rare personality. Like I personally encounter. Like whenever you meet Mr. Lal, you feel very good. Okay, so that's how it is. So it's not only about age, but when you meet Mr. Lal, you feel very good. So the whole idea is like, okay, when I came to know Mr. Lal is 75 plus, I said, wow, that's great. Because like from nowhere, he was presenting that kind of uh, uh, angle or behavior or anything like, okay, he is that age. So I thought like he must be 65, 70, something like that. And then we came to know, wow, it's not like 75 plus, he's 78, 79 and going to be 80. So that's where it is. And I started like interacting with him and asking a lot of question, like a personal question, like, okay, how do you manage yourself and all those kind of things. The reason is because as a scientist, we deal with like many challenges in life, especially in the preventive healthcare. So let's understand 80 is new 50 from the preventive healthcare perspective. As Veena said, we are like medical science has advanced, and so we are living longer. I want to give you a very good example. um, Heart failure, the word is very scary, but you know what is the amazing thing? You can live a normal life throughout, like after 50, 30, 40 years, like any other normal person with the heart failure. Isn't it very strange? But it's very interesting, right? If a normal person hear that a person has a heart failure, that person will go into panic mode. Now, if person go into Google and type, he will go further in a panic mode because everything will die within 5 years, die within 1 year, and all those kind of things. But when you put like science into it and see how the progression of new technologies and medicine lifestyle changes, then it is a normal kind of a chronic situation like a diabetes. So see, these are the things people don't know. So this is the first part, to try to understand. Like we heard about diabetes, so we know like, okay, you take a insulin type 1, type 2, people are living with diabetes. We heard about like many people have like kidney problem, they are living with the kidney problem, but then they are going a dialysis or kidney transplant or like that, the liver transplant and all those kind of things. So try to understand the message. When I met Mr. Lal, Mr. Lal is a happy person. Number one, I'm not bringing the health first. Because he is happy, then I realized that is why he's healthy. And then I started asking him, like, okay, do you have a diabetes? Do you have like all this kind of a whole list, right? What people have that. And in everything, like, no, 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 no. Except like, yeah, hypertension. These are common things. So now this is the message that as we age after 50, we all have some or other mechanical problem. Try to understand, like this is the concept of the aging, right? We lose our muscle mass, the muscle get weak, we started losing energy, we have some kind of like a blood pressure problem, hypertension problem, we have a liver problem, we have a kidney problem, we have all sorts of problem. But don't treat that as a disease. If you understand that from the lifestyle point of view, that's a part of aging. And if you fix your lifestyle, You can fix your aging, means you can age gracefully. So now going other way around, that when Mr. Lal, when I make a tick mark from Mr. Lal, and I said, wow, except hypertension, and he has some problem swelling of the leg, very basic. Then I said, wow, if people like me, I'm 57, if I can lead and follow what Mr. Lal lived in his life, I can see 20 beautiful life ahead of me, years ahead of me. You see the concept here? So like that's where the concept was put, that the 50 years old person, when he or she meet a person who is 80 years old and see that 80 years old guy is really living a good life, then the motivation come to the 50 plus years person, that wow, I have a 30 beautiful years remaining in my life. Inspiration, right? The link. And that's the whole purpose of saying 80 is new 50. Why? Because there are people like Mr. Lal who are 80 plus. There are many people like 80 plus. They're healthy, giving a good example. But these people inspiring the people like us, those who are 50 plus. But when we put many people like this, they are further inspiring the people, those who are 40 plus. So it's a chain reaction. We all want to live healthy and happy. What is a definition of healthy and happy? The definition of healthy means it's not about not having any disease or not having any problem. It's about how much knowledge you have about your body. If you have a knowledge about your body is a machine. You can manage your machine very well. So when you manage your machine very well, you grow gracefully, you age gracefully. So this is the campaign 80 is new 50. So so few points. Number one, there are a lot of examples like Mr. Lal. Mr. Lal is an inspiration. So we are going to bring throughout the year many people 80 plus, those who are active, healthy, happy. Happy word, don't miss the happy word. It's very important. And second is a link. We are going to bring a lot of 50 plus people, 40 plus people, and link them with like 80 plus, 90 plus. Punamanti is here. I heard like last time you said 77 or something, 78. I don't remember exactly. So it's a chain, 75, 78, 80, 84, and then we are sitting 40, 50. So chain, the second is a chain. The third thing is don't take disease as a disease. Because when you take a disease and you see a doctor and you Google it, then there is a problem. But when you understand that, okay, I have to get a knowledge about certain things, and the medical science has advanced a lot, means there are solutions for everything, means positive thinking. So that's the third part. Have a positive thinking. Every problem doesn't matter. Like right now, Veena's mother, she has like the stent in her heart, but she is perfectly healthy. See, so that's what the definition here is. It's not like a lot of Mr. Lal's friend. I was so surprised and so happy friends. Like someone say, I have a 9 stent in my heart. Someone else says 6, and they are normal people. So that's what we have to understand. If people is perfectly living a normal life, they don't have a health condition, they're moving, we can't call them patient. And that's what in the medical science, like whenever you interact with a doctor call them heart patient. Now I met so many wonderful friends of Mr. Lal. They're all going and running and very, very dynamic people, but having 3 stent, 4 stent, 5 stent, I don't want to call them patient. I want to call them the beautiful people, like living a normal life. That's the another concept people have to understand. Further is medication. Don't create a very negative attitude about the medication, because at the end of the day, medication saves the life. It really brings you back. So balancing between the medication and the lifestyle. is very important. But I'm really like, as a scientist, I'm very much against who say like, okay, throw out all the medication and things. It means like, no, like if you have some heart problem, in a minute we have to run to the hospital. We cannot run to a detox expert or someone like that, right? So we have to respect that part of the science. And finally is a positive thinking. It's absolutely important. Now, when we say positive thinking, one of the key feature we have noticed among the 80 plus people, would like to give the example of Mr. Lal. They are happy not because they take care of their life. They are happy because they genuinely from inside want to make other people happy around them. So they are creating a kind of like an infection of happiness. See, that's the thing I noticed personally, that all the people we started meeting, those who are healthy and happy, they are creating the infection of happiness around them. So all the people, those who are beautiful people, they all are infectious people in terms of the happiness. So they give the happiness to other people. So if we sum up all those kind of things, the major challenge here is, as we are aging in the world right now, dementia is a major problem. As we are aging, we slowly have a memory loss, and dementia further move to Alzheimer's. So the question is, so far you are living longer, like say 80 plus, and if Mr. Lal know like Sanjay is speaking, then perfect, that makes sense. But then if Mr. Lal after this ask Veena like, hey, this guy was speaking, who was he? Then doesn't make any sense, right? Whether you live, number doesn't matter. So there is a bleak picture around the world in every home. So this is through this our panel discussion, we want to request the people, share your stories with the people. We have provided you this platform. Don't treat your parents or old people that are sick people and we have to manage them and we have to do the dialysis for them or we have to like clean the bed for them and all those kind of things. No. Inspire them to reverse, change their lifestyle. If the lifestyle is changed, that guy, those who are sleeping on the bed, will stand up and will start walking and will become independent. So these are a few things we have uh, hiding inside the layer in our 80 is new 50 campaign. And I think, Veena, this is good enough for now to share because everyone has to talk. And message is hiding, positive thinking. Don't treat people as a disease people and don't call people as a patient. So this is our Naveda's mantra. Naveda has a platform called Live Life Naveda Way. So today, Veena will touch a little bit on at the end of the seminar, a panel discussion, what is Live Life Naveda Way. So I just give you the snapshot of it and floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Unmute. Veena, you need to unmute yourself.
I was like,
Yes.
oh, I need to. Yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So next we have our guest, lovely, lovely, lovely guest, Mrs. Poonam Mehta. So thank you so much for being here, Auntie. And first of all, congratulations on your recent achievement on being Grandma Classy on the Delaire Global Sindhi Beauty Pageant. Wow, what an achievement. So hooray.
Thank you.
So how young are you, Auntie?
Oh, that's a very good question. Yeah, I am 77, but very young at heart.
Yes, absolutely. We can see that because you are definitely a big inspiration to many, many, many people. And you've kept yourself so positively engaged in the community and truly making a difference in so many different aspects of, in the world. So please do share something about yourself. I know that after you retired, from university, or you were teaching?
No, I was a principal at Victoria Education Organization.
Okay.
So I didn't retire,
Okay.
but I resigned.
Okay.
So my desire was to go and help people in India,
Okay.
orphanages, and so on and so forth. But I landed up getting a project to set up schools. That's my forte. So I have set up 22 schools around in Hong Kong, India, and hope I can, and in Delhi. So this is where I come from. And I thought community has given me a lot. So let me give back to the community. And
Wonderful.
finally, when I came back from India, Be the Change fell in my lap and I took over.
Wonderful. Awesome. And how young were you when you started this, when you actually resigned and started all these projects?
Okay, say 11 years ago. Now
Well,
you do the calculation. I still feel very young.
oh yeah, I mean, that's
Age,
amazing. That's amazing.
age is only a number.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that's what we want to really bring out, to let people know that age is only a number and you can start anything at any age. And there's no limitation, as long as you are open to life and this
My
opportunity.
my recent hobby is painting. So I started painting.
Wow. Awesome.
Um, and I'm quite happy for what I'm doing.
Wonderful. And I also understand that you recently launched a book as well.
Yes, I started writing 4 years ago.
Hmm.
Then it was not going anywhere. So I thought, okay, I won't. But a friend of mine said, little by little, you will do it.
Hmm.
So I finally completed. I launched my book, and the book is available at Bookazine. And the proceeds from the book, part of it is going to Mrs. Shroff Faride's Institute and to cancer patients in Bombay, in India.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing. That is, so how do you feel about that?
I'm grateful to the Lord.
Hmm.
I think He has put me in a place where I'm able to achieve my goals. All I do is every day is a prayer day. And as you know, I'm a converted Christian. So my prayers go around to all my friends around the world,
Hmm.
and that keeps me going.
Hmm. And what are your secrets for looking so beautiful at this age?
Okay. In a nutshell, I would say that each one of us should respect and love oneself
Hmm.
before we give love to others or we respect others. If we don't have one for ourselves, we cannot give, we cannot share. And Lord has made us very unique. So whatever talents we have, wherever we are, however little we know or more we know or knowledgeable we are, we should share.
Hmm.
So this is what I have been doing right from the beginning. If you read my book, it says so.
Hmm.
So, and also you have to upgrade yourself. I started as an ordinary teacher and then continued to study. I did my teaching um, in Hong Kong. I started learning. So I got an award there also.
Hmm.
Then at the age of 60, I did my master's in counseling. And thereafter, I published the book. I've also got Wow Award from Sindhi community.
Hmm.
And this also, again, luck by chance. Lord has been very grateful. And whenever you ask God for anything, don't doubt Him,
Hmm.
you know, just ask for a favor and it's done. We
Hmm.
have a right to ask Him a favor.
Right.
Yeah. And His will be done.
Hmm.
And now my plan is to do my PhD.
Wow.
That's where I am now.
Wow. So PhD in education?
No, you can say part of it, but I would say that there's a large gap between the rich and the poor.
Hmm.
Discrepancy is so much that if every rich man around the world shared their riches with the poor, there would be no poverty.
Hmm.
So I'm doing research on that and why is it happening?
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. Absolutely inspirational. That you
Thank
can, you want to continue to, do something which is very close to your heart and which is so fulfilling, and you're doing it for others.
you. You have to be happy in what you do,
Yeah.
first of all. And when you are happy and you do it cheerfully, then everything comes your way. Um, I think I am very, very blessed. And I must say that I heard Mr. Sanjay saying that remember one thing, that balance your life. It is not only medication, but lifestyle.
Hmm.
So I believe in that.
Hmm.
And I think everybody should follow his suggestions.
Right. So I want to ask you a question. So as you see, when one ages, there comes a lot of challenges and changes, uh,
Mhm.
and people have to adapt. But as we get older, a lot of people become very stringent or strict with certain conditions and ideas. So how
Mm.
does one, adapt to changes? What is needed? What is needed?
Again, it's up to you.
Hmm.
It's the individual's decision you make for yourself, you know. You want to adapt or you don't want to adapt. It's
Hmm.
up to you. You invite yourself and say, yes, I want to.
Hmm.
If you keep saying, no, no, I cannot, and you're very strict in your views, your beliefs, and all that, it doesn't take you anywhere. It just doesn't take you anywhere. So believe in yourself and try to move along with the latest trend. Earlier, I heard that socializing um, is not something everybody should do, but I think we should socialize.
Hmm.
We should build up relationships, and at the same time, believe in the Lord because only He knows what's best for us.
Hmm.
So far, by grace of God, I have not gone through any major sickness, and I'm not suffering from diabetes or so on. But again, I'm saying it's not only lifestyle, but it's in my genes also. My
Wonderful.
mother lived 84. She never had any tablets, you know. So I do take one cholesterol because now on holidays in India and here, I've been eating, drinking, and enjoying my life. So we have to balance our life.
Right.
I have to watch out.
Wonderful. So basically, you're not really taking any hypertension, diabetes, nothing like that.
I don't invite. When
Yeah.
you invite, it comes to you. I
Very,
don't. And
very.
don't be around negative people.
Hmm.
One mourner leads to another mourner. Stay away from mourners,
Hmm.
and that gives you a lot of good energy. And to top it all, I have students I've taught all my life to young kids. As a matter of fact, Mr. Gul Mirpuri's daughter I taught. Today, she's a doctor, practicing doctor. And I'm very proud of my students.
Hmm. So, Auntie, what is your driving force? I mean, you seem so driven in life. At any age, any time, you're just driven. You want to do something. What does one need to do to have that kind of a drive?
I think Mr. Sanjay, Dr. Sanjay has already answered that you have to keep yourself happy. Happiness, the kind of happiness. Okay, I feel happy because I got this or I got that, you know. But happiness is something that you need to know what makes you happy.
Hmm.
What makes you happy? But if you look around and say, oh, I have to be like A and B and C, you'll never be happy.
Hmm.
Accept yourself where you are and be happy. And of course, again, have faith in the Lord.
Hmm.
He is share your knowledge, increase your knowledge, um, contribute to the society, and be a learner. My students I've taught all my life, but I think I'm learning more from them. I've got wonderful children coming from all walks of life, Nepalis, Indians, Sindhis, Filipinos, but they bring so much energy that they bring me energy so I stay young.
Yeah. So I guess they are your driving force. You're seeing so much energy in them that it gives you that power to live and do more.
Yeah. But even when families come for counseling, they come with tears. You know, they are burdened with their own problems, but they leave be the change. I see happy faces, and that's a reward. Very rewarding, you know. I'm happy for that.
So I would love to know a little bit more about the classy grandma pageant. How was it for you?
Good one. A friend of mine called me and he says, Poonam, Lady Hina will be calling you. I said, Purple. He said, she'll tell you everything. So this young lady called me, a dynamic woman. And she said that I've heard a lot about you because a lot of people know me in Bombay also. So we have this pageant for grandmas. I said, okay. Initially, I thought, okay, I have to dress up nicely, and which I always do, and I love my hairstyle and my makeup. I have to do that. But it was a journey to be remembered. Every day for last 3 weeks, before, as soon as it started, for 3 weeks, I used to sleep 2 in the morning because of India time. They would start it in the evening. And we had models who taught us how to do catwalk, how to dress up, and how to speak in, we had to speak in Sindhi.
Okay.
I'll send you my video. So many words I didn't know what to say. I give you an example. Our Mr. Hardasani and mm, Mr. Manu Ahuja, they're good speakers. Mr. Hardasani can read and write. So I said, Bao, I want to know what do I say for counseling. He says, Saladar. Then I said, what about education? He says, Ilim. Then I said, okay, I enjoy painting. He says, Chitrakal. So I had to recite that. I'm very so conscious about it. I had this video taken. We had to send a video. So I tried very hard, practiced and practiced and practiced speaking in Sindhi. But believe me, the last one video that I sent, I spoke better than I spoke on the first one because I wasn't conscious. You know, I was allowed to speak few English words, but I'm proud that I made it. And then thereafter, we had a lot of discussions on Zoom. And the number of questions we all asked, we really harassed the lady. She, she was so kind, and she kept answering our questions. So it was good. And most of all, my whole family got involved.
Yes.
My little grandson, 5 years old, he says, you walk, I'll take your video. My granddaughter, Anjali, she says, come on, I'll do your makeup. Lavina said, I'll do your hair. Sudha said, you know all of them, and come to the office. Raju said, use my office, my cabin, and her staff, until I didn't finish my conversation on video or the catwalk. I practiced and practiced, but I made it. It was a hard journey, but I'm very proud that at this age, I got this opportunity.
Yeah.
So I took this challenge, and I'm very happy. And I'll send you the video of
Yes.
my catwalk and my talk in Sindhi.
I saw it. I saw it on your Facebook.
Oh,
Yes,
you did?
I did.
Okay. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I'm good at speaking in Sindhi. Now, I have, another I want to share. The plan is to open a Sindhi school in Ulhasnagar. I don't know if you know Ulhasnagar. It's near Kalyan,
Yes.
So I'm looking, somebody's offered a land. So I will find investors, and I'm sure I'll achieve that too, for the Sindhi community.
Sure. Congratulations. Lovely,
Thank you.
lovely speaking to you. Very
Thank you for
inspirational
inviting.
as always, and God bless you. And may you continue to do all the good work that you do and bring lots of joy in people's lives.
God bless you too. I know you from where you started and where you are. So thanks to your whole team and Mr. Lal, our Dr. Sanjay, and other panels. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you.
So our next panel speaker will be Mr. Gul Mipuri. Okay. Hello, Mr. Mipuri. Thank you so much, Mr. Mipuri, for
Hi.
accepting this invitation.
Hi. Hello there,
Hi. Thank you so much for this invitation.
everybody.
Thank you for accepting this invitation. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. And I know
Can you hear me?
Yes, I know. Thank you for accepting this invitation. I know you're not really a frontline person. You don't like to be much in public. But once again, I am, because of your dear friend, I see that you do have a lot of respect from him. And you're here again, celebrating him, and you're here for him. So thank you so much for being here. So how long have you known Mr. Lal for?
My pleasure. My pleasure.
How long have you known Mr. Lal for?
50 plus years.
50 plus years. Wow.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I
Yeah,
can.
50
can.
plus years.
Wow. Long time.
We were both bachelors then.
Ah, okay. So then I must take you out for lunch one day. Okay. So he tells me that.
I'm sworn to secrecy.
So he tells me that you're one of his most active and health conscious friends. So tell me a little bit about your daily practices.
You know, we speak about Lal being so hale, hearty, and fit. I think I lay some claim on that. I used to teach him, I used to coach him squash, took him on a squash court and make him run around, not only just swing the racket, but really run around and keep himself fit. So give me a little credit for keeping him fit and happy.
Definitely, definitely. So that is why he insisted that you be here as well.
I listened to Madam Poonam, and I really admire what she did, and I can't even come close to her achievements. But my hobbies were always sports. My love of life was always sports. Starting from my college days, I used to play badminton and table tennis there. I used to captain my college team, badminton team. Squash is something which I started playing in Hong Kong when I came here. And in those days in Hong Kong, and there were, and probably Julie would be aware about that, there were no squash courts, barring the one at the army barracks, where the squash center is there. And they were generous enough to let us play only in the evening. Daytime, it was all restricted for the army. So my love has always been sports. And I think that's one of the things that keeps you in a very, not only a good physical shape, but sports also keep you very mentally also very alert and very fit. You know, a lot of people tell me about meditation, which I do. But I also, you know, in meditation, they say that you are just concentrating on your breathing and you don't think about anything else. You empty your mind. Now, this is exactly when you play any sport at a certain level, you're not aware about your surroundings. You see, if you're on a squash court, all that you think about is your opponent and the ball. That's all in your mind. So imagine for 1 hour, you think about nothing else but that, and how it refreshes your memory. When you come out of a hard game of squash, it's just an, I don't know how to describe it, you know, better than any other experience that you can have in life. So sports can take you to that mental alertness also.
Wonderful. Amazing. And are you still playing squash?
Yes, I'm still playing, but for the past 3 years, because I had to pay a heavy price. I had knee replacements in both my knees. My first knee in 2018 and the second knee in 2019. So I had to stay away from sports, but now I'm fine. I've started playing. I play with my grandchildren.
Okay.
I still walk, jog. I go hiking. I go climbing up or jogging up to the peak.
Wow. And with no problem at all, despite your knee replacement?
No problems at all. You know, this is one thing which I can offer some advice to people, because I have a lot of friends who are also, I mean, knee problems, just about everybody gets it. And a lot of people do their surgeries, but they don't give any serious importance importance to aftercare.
Mm.
Of course, that depends on a person's thinking process as to what sort of quality of life they wanted. When I went to see my surgeon, he's a very famous surgeon. He only specializes in knee surgery, Dr. C.C. Kong. And he asked me, what do you expect and what do you want after your surgery? I told him, doctor, I want to go back and play squash in first division again. He had a laugh. He said, okay, maybe you'll go and play squash, but I don't know about first division. But you have to set your aims, because even when I asked my doctor, I said, see, when I do meditation and all, I have these postures and these stretches. Can I come back to that level? So, for example, he said, which posture? I said, okay, one simple one that we all do when we sit down and when we do meditation, fold our knees. He said, maybe you cannot, but not everything. But what you can do is put a pillow under you, and then it'll be easier. But I persisted. It took me 1 year. There are some other postures also, which I struggled to do it, but I finally did it. So you've got to have that element of persistence in you. You see, I always believe that things don't happen. You've got to make them happen. And but a lot of people they go for surgery, as long as they can walk, that's it. They don't want to do anything further, not realizing that your muscles, your body, it needs strengthening in all aspects. It's not just, a lot of people, they just go, oh, I go on a treadmill, I walk, brisk walking for an hour, and that's fine. Yes, something is always better than nothing. But if you want to really have a quality of life, each and every part of your body has to be exercised. Each and every part of your body has to be strengthened. And by strengthening certain parts of your body, you automatically strengthen your other parts of the body, you see.
That's true.
So
I
this
want
is
to.
something which is unfortunately lacking in people. Yes.
Yeah. Can I come
Yes,
in,
doctor.
Gul? Yeah, I just like very interesting. You
Yes,
touch a very
please.
interesting, yeah, you touch a very interesting point, and this is one thing we can share with people. And so two things. One is like is a coincidence. Like when I came to Hong Kong, I never played squash, but I was one of the most sincere spectator of squash for last 20 years. Reason was like
Okay.
my best friend Fahim
Really?
Khan. Fahim Khan, he was a champion,
Yes,
Asia
I know.
champion.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, Fahim. So
I played with him. I played
played
with
you.
him.
Okay.
I know him
So
very well. Yeah.
Yeah, so Fahim was my very good friend, and
Hmm.
whenever Fahim going, and I used to watch. So to share with other people like this, especially the sports of squash, like you watch cricket, you watch soccer, you watch other thing, you have a very big visuals, right? Like you have a big soccer field, you have like so many people, your mind keep diverting except the player. But squash is a one game
Yes.
where you will notice like not only the player but also the spectator, they have to be very focused because this is a very tiny space and they're just like focusing the movement of the players and the
And
ball, right? So
yeah,
it's
the
not only
ball is
like
so fast. It's a very fast game.
exactly, so it's not only the players but the spectator also. So first thing what I like about, which I really want to share with everyone, is the meditation. Meditation doesn't mean that you sit in a room, close your eyes, and then deep breathing and focus all those kind of things. Everything which you can focus, as Mr. Gul said, this is the meditation, right? Like you can focus for half an hour, 1 hour, automatically that is a meditation itself. So correction of the the vocabulary means, I would say, like in a common term, is a focus. If anyone can focus for certain time every day in life, That's a meditation itself. That's the first point. Second, from science point of view, want to share something very interesting. And in further seminars, we are going to give a detailed seminar on it. You talk about the knee surgery. And you mentioned a very good point, which I mentioned in my opening remark too, that there is no SOP and there is no magic that if you do the knee surgery or any surgery or anything, and then the people will recover automatically. How well we recover is all here in our brain. And that's what we call our lifestyle, our willing to get fit, our willing to stay healthy. So since you touched the knee surgery and the topic, I just want to add little bit knowledge here so everyone can understand. You heard about there's a high intensity training, the exercise these days, the cardio training and like the soft training and all those kind of things. So what happened, like a layman only heard there is a muscle. But in science, we have a further classification of the muscle, the three different types of muscle. So certain kind of exercise or certain kind of movement can strengthen only certain type of muscle, not all kind of muscle. That's the first thing. So first, the information for all the people, if they want to focus on after the surgery or even in the aging, the muscle strength is very important. People should not lose the muscle mass. It is very, very important because the moment you lose muscle mass, then you are losing. So the people who want to lose a weight, is a message for them. You lose the weight from the fat. You don't lose the weight from the muscle, because the moment you lose that is why dieting is never advised, because when you do dieting, you lose protein as well, you lose the muscle mass as well. Okay, so that's like adding up to your thing. So if people want to recover faster, they have to understand the muscle structure, number one, and the protein. We will come like that's the 80s is new 50. So you put a very good point and you gave a very good point to us, because that's exactly we are going to do in the future. So we are going to have a seminar on protein, muscle. So then when people learn about protein and muscle, they will automatically can see like, okay, how to take care of my knees, how to take care of my back, how to take care of my bone related problem and um, other stuff like that, right? So that's very interesting and very important message for the people. Like coming back to the normal life, please don't depend only on doctor. Doctor can do only the surgery, as Gul said. Okay, recovery is up to your hand. How well you want to recover, how well what you want to do. So the question is very precise, Gul, and that's the message here is what you want from your life. And that's what you have to set up in your brain, and you have to give the instruction to your body, and that's your lifestyle. And that's what we are talking more focusing on, like the lifestyle. So thank you very much for sharing that. Wonderful.
My pleasure.
Wonderful. So, Mr. Gul, are there any other hobbies that keep you active and happy and healthy?
Well, my 50 years of association with Lal has kept me young, I must say that.
Okay. Wonderful.
So like Madam Poonam, like Madam Poonam said, that keep relations. It's very, very important. I think in life, friends are extremely important. Family is important, but I consider friends of equal importance. Because it's a different feeling. It's a different, completely different relationship. Sometimes with close friends, you can go and weep on his shoulder, which you can't even do it with others, you see, or even in your family. So friendship is very, very important, and this is what I advise my children and now my grandchildren, that have more social relations, and of course, choose your friends well.
Hmm. Wonderful. So since you're going to be celebrating your friend's birthday in 71 days, is there something you would like to say to him or say to him?
To Lal,
Yes.
Yes.
he 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 doesn't need anything. You see, he's a complete person. I must say that. And Dr. Sanjay, what he spoke in the beginning is very true. He's I have never seen him getting upset. I get upset. He knows that, but I have never seen him get upset.
Hmm.
And he's always laughing. He's always got a smile on his face, and we've been very close friends for many years. Okay, we may not be meeting very often, but I know he's very close to me,
Yes, for sure. And that's
and I wish him more friends. That will keep him more younger.
Thank you so
That's why we are younger people following him now. He has a younger friends,
yeah, yeah.
right? So first he has your age friend, now he has my age friend.
He has younger friends surrounding him.
Yes, and as Poonam said, age is just a number.
He's just a number.
So it's not how old you are, but how young you feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that wonderful sharing. And now we will move on to Julie Lewis from Abu Dhabi. So,
Hello there.
Julie.
Hi, Julie.
So thank you so much again
I,
for accepting this invitation. I just, reached out to you, and we haven't been in touch for a very long time, but it's wonderful seeing you virtually, and it's really wonderful connecting with so many of my friends virtually these days. And when I think of you, I think of adventure. So it's like the adventure that you add into your life and into people's life. So please share with the audience, the panel here, whoever's watching, who you are, what do you do, and yeah, we'll move on from there.
Sure. Well, lovely to be on the panel. Thank you so much. It was very last minute, and I'm very happy that I could join you live virtually from my self-created mountaintop studio here in Abu Dhabi. I am 58 years young, chronologically 58 years, biologically I would say in my 40s, but in my heart, I'm definitely in my 20s and 30s. I'm a British expat. I did actually live in Hong Kong for 2 years, 2010 to 2012, which is how we are connected. And the majority of the last 23 years, I've been living in the Middle East, Dubai, a little bit of time in Kuwait, and now for the last 9 years in Abu Dhabi. My background's in sports science, and I played lots of squash goals, so I can relate to the knee issue. I think my right knee will need some TLC shortly. So my background's in sports science, so I'm very, very, very much passionate about health and well-being. I was actually born on the 7th of April, which is World Health Day, so it's in my DNA. It's my mission and purpose. For my 40th birthday, I decided to go and climb a mountain. And most people said, well, you want to go and do that on your 40th birthday? Most people are going and having parties and champagne and all the rest of it. I said, well, I can do that afterwards, but I would really like to go and climb this mountain. So I climbed a mountain in Malaysia, Kota Kinabalu, 7th of April, 2002, standing on top of the mountain, really feeling strong and alive and connected. And I thought, I'm on a mountain, I'm on a natural high. Ooh, Mountain High, that would be a really good name for a company to encourage and inspire more people to connect with new cultures and challenge themselves. The following year, I took 18 women to Everest Base Camp in Nepal. I came back from that trip and I thought I was born to do this. So I resigned from my job and I started Mountain High, firstly from my kitchen table and then under the umbrella of a travel company. And really for the last 19 years, up until last March, I was leading expeditions around the globe. I actually took a team of breast cancer survivors to Antarctica. So when people say, how fit do I have to be? It's really, it's all in here, and really training up for that. So running expeditions, retreats, programs on resilience, well-being, positive intelligence, happiness, all of these things. And it's very much an integrated approach. So when people say, what is the secret? I say, it's not just one secret. I think we've all touched on it, that it's a combination of things. So it's how you're thinking, how are you eating, how are you moving your body, how are you getting a good night's sleep? Are you meditating, or prayer time, you know, where you're still and silent and allowing yourself to ground and focus? A strong social connection. And I like the term, you know, staying hydrated obviously as well is very important for us. But I've started to use the term rewilding, because especially over this last year, we've been indoors a lot more than normal, probably looking at a screen a lot more than normal. And I just think that is so not normal, you know, to be indoors, directed attention all the time. And I really think it's so important that we reconnect with nature, because a lot of the stress is because we're feeling disconnected from people and from nature and from experiences in nature. So whether it's going, you know, hugging a tree, growing a herb garden, smelling some spices in the kitchen and being transported to, you know, faraway places, walking, you know, swimming. I think it's just so important for our mental and emotional well-being that we stay active. So adventure could be anything as simple as learning how to cook something different, learning a new skill, you know, and it could be traveling, you know. So there's many kind of meanings of the word adventure, and I certainly think that, you know, I've still got many, many more years of adventure in me, and really encouraging more and more people to have that spirit of adventure. So do something for your mind, do something for your body, but also a little bit out of your comfort zone, trying some new things. You know, you mentioned, Poonam, that you started painting, you're doing your masters. And I think, you know, to keep your cognitive agility is super, super important. And so by experiences, you know, the more experiences that we have, the more we're expanding our ability to stay resilient and happy. I just actually picked up this book last week, The Blue Zones. I'm sure everybody's familiar with this. Such a lovely book. You know, when you look at areas where there are many, many more centenarians, you know, it's mainly in Japan, but there's a place in Greece, one in Costa Rica. And it's, you know, what brings you joy, gives you energy. So, you know, having a purpose is super, super important. Moving, even if you're moving slowly, you know, to keep moving. You know, and I think, you know, nutrition is very, very important, because, you know, you are what you eat, and what you're eating is eating. And that I love the concept of community, because I think now there's a lot of people that are feeling quite disconnected or isolated. So through, you know, technology, as much as I say, don't become a slave to technology, it's just the only way that some people have been able to stay connected. You know, as an expatriate, my mum is 96 years young. She's in the UK. I haven't actually seen her in person for over a year now. And that's, you know, that's huge, because normally I see her 3 times a year. You know, my father-in-law is in the US, and my daughter is in New Zealand. So the only way we can connect is through Zoom and Skype and WhatsApp. So I think technology is great. And I also think it's important to take digital detoxes and as much as possible, you know, to build this community around us. So, you know, that in itself can be an adventure right now, can't it? Organizing to meet somebody for a physically distanced coffee. Yes, I prefer not to use the word social distance, because we're still very social. It's more kind of the physical distancing. But yeah, I think, you know, focusing on what brings you joy, you know, and that could be people, places, and activities, and staying active.
So you mentioned that your mom is 96. So is she healthy, fit, and fine like yourself? And
she is, yes. She has a slight case of dementia. Sometimes she's totally fine, and others, if you asked her what she had for breakfast, she wouldn't know. But you show her pictures and she can tell you stories and absolutely everything. So, I mean, she still lives in her own home. My two sisters rotate, just taking care of her. She loves music. She likes John Wayne movies. She likes comedy. She's very disappointed right now because she normally goes to the hairdresser every Wednesday for the last 35 years to the same woman, and she's not been able to go recently. So my two sisters are learning some new skills in terms of putting rollers in her hair and everything. So that's an adventure in itself, you know. Yes. Yeah.
You're so full of energy. So
Mm.
what does resilience means to you?
You know, that's a great question. And there's different forms of resilience. I think of, you know, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, psychological, financial resilience, environmental resilience. And the most kind of commonly used term is it's the ability to kind of respond, adapt, and rewire and basically bounce. I'm not going to say back because none of us are going backwards. Bounce forward after a setback and a disappointment. You know, and it's to consistently be able to adapt swiftly to change. I also like to zone in on, it's also the importance of quality recovery time. You know, peak performance and being, you know, an athlete or, you know, an entrepreneur that's round the clock, you know, you need for this performance to continue over here, the balance is quality recovery time. And so to me, you know, recharging your resilience means know when to stop, not keep on keeping on just until you do it, you know, it's not kind of burning out. So I think resilience also is the ability to say, I need to take a break now. I've not quit, I'm just taking a break. So yeah, resilience is many, many things to many, many people. And if you look at the word resilience, you'll find the word silence in there. And, you know, giving yourself the gift of silence, because there's a lot of information, you know, there's a lot of media, and I think that can actually turn you down a negative spiral. So I would say, find out what you need to know about what you need to know, but then just create your own news. But actually, you know, whether it's through prayer or meditation, or, you know, one of my friends says when I'm ironing, it's like a meditation. I said, well, you can have all my ironing then. That's fine. So it's when you're focused or in a zone, when you're feeling relaxed, you know, and that's when we're in flow. So I think it's, you know, one of the questions I ask for a lot of people is very mindful self-compassion is, you know, literally putting your hand on your heart and saying, what do I need right now? You know, and gifting yourself. Do you need a hug? Do you need a good laugh? Do you need a cup of tea? Do you need a slice of carrot cake? You know, you need some connections. Do you need to get you know, a nice hot bath? So it's really asking yourself, what do you need? And then gifting it. And then asking your, you know, your spouse, your kids, what do you need right now? You know, when people are kind of getting stressed and upset, what do you need? You know, maybe they just need to hear something like everything's going to be okay, or, you know, keep at it. So I think there's many, many aspects of this: health, well-being, wellness, peak performance, thriving, flourishing. And you know, for me, I'm a great believer, as we all are, that, you know, age is just a number. And I think what's important is what we value. I value my health. That's my number one value. So every time I have a decision, does this decision move me towards my health or away, you know? And I think 85% good in terms of nutrition and 15% naughty but nice, you know, that little chocolate muffin or something. But knowing that, you know, that the rest of the time we're putting good food into our body. So I think that's, you know, I have a little thing called the power of three, and I have 3 rocks. Whoops, just dropped one of them. They don't break. 3 rocks, and every day I say, what have I done for my mind? The second rock, what have I done for my body? Have I exercised it? Have I, you know, had a massage, you know, your hands and your feet, some things you can do by yourself. And then this one, it could either be, you know, how's my emotional well-being, or what's my spirit of adventure? So what can I do that's a little bit different? So it's just 3 rocks. I wish I could say they'd been blessed by monks high in the Himalayas, but they're from the local garden center. But they're just a really nice positive anchor in terms of, you know, 3 things that you can do every day for yourself to kind of maintain that healthy outlook. Yeah, I hope that kind of.
Is it difficult to sustain that resilience as we get older, or can resilience be, is it a skill that one can gain? How does one progress?
Sure. Well, the good news about resilience, it can be learned, you know, whatever age or stage or circumstances or experience you've had. And to be honest with you, the more experiences that we have, the more resilient we become and the more we can handle stress, because you've got much more frames of reference, you know. So if you're trying different things, even if it doesn't work out, you think, I've learned something new. What's the gift in this? So I think the more experiences that we have and the more connections we have with somebody that's 10, 20, 30 years younger, and then the other side, you know, I always say it's quite good to have a mentor that's 20 years younger than you and somebody that's 20 years wiser, not older. And you'll get some really interesting opinions. So, you know, the old adage, move it or lose it. And I think that's with your mind as well. If you're learning, doing puzzles, reading books, listening to inspirational music, and so that you're expanding your mind. And even if you're, you know, whether it's swimming or walking or dancing or, you know, playing squash, wow, that's incredible. That is such an explosive stop-start game. So to play squash, you know, I used to play a lot of squash, and you know, when people say, when are you going to stop climbing mountains, Julian? I say, when I had taken my last breath. You know, that's it. You know, there's, you know, you don't always have to go up. You can go around mountains. You can switch back on them and everything. And 2 years ago, I attempted to swim across the English Channel, and it was meant to be a team, and it ended up being a solo. And one of the boat pilots said, well, how old are you? And I said, I'm 56. And he said, well, do you realize the average age of a channel swimmer is 36? I said, oh, that's interesting. I said, but the water doesn't know I'm 56, you know, because you have to get in the water and swim. And I said, the water doesn't know I'm 56, so it's going to be okay. I mean, I didn't make it, but 2 out of 3 people don't. But it was an incredible, you know, experience. And I've got many stories to share about that. So I think it's, you know, having a go at pushing the boundaries, you know. I will definitely be doing my master's in applied positive psychology. I'm training currently to be 60. I have a whole year of adventures planned for 2022, because I do feel that by 2022, the world will be a healthier place and it will be a bit easier to travel. And, you know, many people now are really looking at wellness in a very, very different light. You know, looking at immune boosting, wellness, lifestyle, spending time in nature, choosing who they spend their time with. So, you know, as much as, you know, there's huge challenges in the world right now, but then if you look at the gifts, that we've become a lot more self-aware, we've become a lot more connected to people, how we spend our time, how we spend our money, how we, you know, enjoy micro moments in nature, you know, listening to the birds singing, you know, looking at flowers blooming. I think we just become a lot more aware and present and just think, wow, the biggest gift last year was to be alive and breathing, and for all your family and your friends to be, you know, fit and healthy, and to keep stretching ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Yeah. Yeah.
That's very, I feel a lot of energy.
You have a lot of energy, yes, yeah. That's why I think so. A lot of people call me joules in terms of kilojoules of energy. So, you know, and I think this is something that, you know, when that you do this by taking care of yourself. Poonam, I think you mentioned, you know, and I think of aircraft, like put your own oxygen mask on first, because we can only give what we've got. If we're tired, burnt out, you know, not feeling, you know, a joy or purpose, and how can we possibly be a beacon of light and love to other people around us? So it's always, you know, it's not selfish, it's self-care. Start with yourself so that you can stand strong like a mountain, that you can actually radiate this joy and energy, and that is like a magnet. It's like people want to be around that. Nobody wants to be around with somebody that's going, you know, the ain't it awful club. Oh, it's raining. There's nothing I can do. I can't. I should. You know, nobody wants to be around something like that. It's not good for your own energy. So You know, I think I'm a beacon of light, I'm a beacon of light, I'm a beacon of love, you know, and just when that's within you and you can radiate out, that's super, super powerful. And I think we mentioned about inspiring other people around you, that, you know, be the change, be that role model. And of course, yes, I have my moments. People say, are you always like this? Well, if I've not had a great night's sleep, I'm maybe toned down a little bit, but you know, and we do, you know, we all have our what I call our highs or plateaus or lows or valley moments, and it's just a matter of look up, smile, yes, 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 and just count our blessings, you know. And Poonam, you mentioned about having faith, you know, and whether that's whatever your religion or faith, whether it's Mother Nature, the universe, Buddha, Krishna, Allah, Muhammad, whoever it is, I think this is a psychological resilience. It's actually having faith in something greater than ourselves, and having beautiful connections around us and keep on learning. Yeah, so important. Yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Does anyone have a question? Any
Yeah,
questions?
yeah, I'm just coming in. Like, Julie, you gave a wonderful, it's not an idea, but you relate. We are going to have one session. We haven't planned that session, but maybe like 2 months, 3 months down the line. You know, like you talk about mountaining, and long time back, climbing Everest was so difficult. It was like a kind of a news, right? But now I know so many common people that are climbing Everest. And recently, I'm from a central, my hometown is exactly center of India called Jabalpur. And a
Mm-hmm.
very small village next to my hometown, a girl from a very, very middle class and ordinary family, like climbed the mountain, Mount Everest, right? It became a big news. So then people started noticing. So there's a lot of these clubs, the newly established clubs, where like the young people just like going into the higher and higher mountain because of the new technology, the new gears, and like adventure. So this is my suggestion, which definitely we are going to have. We are going to bring few people who climb the Mount Everest,
So
and we would like to definitely invite you back on that, because that would be wonderful over here.
I just let me clarify, I have not climbed Mount Everest. The highest I've been up to so far is 7,000 meters on a mountain in Tibet called Choi Yu, which means
So
turquoise
yeah,
goddess.
yeah, yeah, we know.
I took a group to Everest Base Camp, but I'd be very happy to join that, and I can connect you with a few people that I know that have climbed Everest.
That's true.
Yes, yeah. Everest, but last year and probably this year has had a big rest, hasn't it, from people? You know,
Yes.
the mountain is probably saying thank you, you know, because there's less people. I think the whole planet is going,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, there's a lot less planes going around, and some of the trails that we're all chomping at the bit to go out walking and being on these mountains and everything, that the mountains will be there.
Yeah, definitely. Like this is see, these are the two things. So one is like climbing the higher peaks. It become a common. Like it's not like only for few people. Like masses, like common people started attempting that, right? So it's a part of adventure that we want to do. The another thing you mentioned about taking people to Antarctica. So that's what I want to share with other people, like with
Yeah,
everyone. And you know that these days, a tourist, you can go to Antarctica as a tourist, which was not there. Like when I went there, like as a part of my course, it was only scientists going there for the study. It's
yeah.
not like open for the people. But these days, it's a tourist place. Like you can take a tour group. So thank you for mentioning that. So we would like to collect the another group of the people from the adventure who went to Antarctica. Because see, these are certain things which people are doing out of the box. People thinking like, okay, let's go watch like a most famous things in the world, which is listed in the travel document, right? But then there are people like you, like, okay, explore the world, like take people to Antarctica. So like uh, makes sense, like, and that's what the 80 is new 50. So you gave us two clue here, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And we are definitely going to have this two extra session, one for the people who visited Antarctica, their experience of Antarctica,
Yeah.
And second is like, okay, not maybe Everest, but anyone who climbed the higher peaks around
Yeah.
the world
Sure.
would have lovely stories to share about.
Yeah, and you'll
Thank
find
you.
I'm going to do a little bit of a promotion here. That picture was taken in Antarctica, and Poonam, I was pushed to my limits to write a book 5 years ago. And if my English teacher was still alive, she'd be absolutely amazed because my grades weren't so good in English. Yeah, lovely, absolutely
Lovely.
lovely.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yes, yeah.
Unmute yourself, Auntie. Unmute yourself.
Mr. Lal, it's a
Yes.
message for you. You have to write a book on you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Somebody
You
has
have to write a book on you.
Okay, we'll do that.
Yeah. You see, there are two ladies sitting here with their books. So you should be writing that one for
Yeah.
you as well.
Now, Mrs. Mehta wants to show you a book.
Auntie,
go ahead.
just unmute yourself. Unmute yourself.
Unmute. Yeah.
All right. Julie was sharing
Yes.
her book, and I just thought I want to show my book also.
Very
It's
good.
available. If you want a copy, I'll send it to Veena. She can pass it on to you.
Beautiful.
I'd love to have a copy too.
Yeah, this is, I think in Eastern philosophy, they say for a woman to have fulfilled a full life, she must plant a tree, write a book, and have a son. So I planted a tree, I've written a book. I climbed a mountain. That's instead of having the son. I don't have a son. I've got lots of nieces and nephews. So I'm just changing it around a little bit.
I'll send some copies to Veena, and she can send it over. Now, before you end the session, I just want to say a few things that in life, we have to learn to share your knowledge or whatever skills you have. It's very, very important. Just as everybody's saying, this is a chain, So even your small, small steps that you take in life, you have to share it and be passionate of what you're doing. Don't lose your passion. And to top it all, live a purposeful life. So I think that we have met people who live a purposeful life, and best of luck to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we will have Mr. Lal here. Hello.
And here,
How are you?
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm listening to all good things about me.
Yes. Are you enjoying this whole campaign?
Yes, yes, yes.
Enjoying the experience, the learnings, the challenges?
Yeah,
Yesterday, Mr. Lal was on radio for the very first time in his life.
yeah. I'm gonna play squash with Bull very soon.
Yes, here
Good.
you go.
I'm gonna play squash with you soon. I'm gonna start playing now.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah,
Just enjoying and having lunches and playing cards. Here, this whole campaign has actually ignited you to rekindle your singing passion.
yeah.
You've joined a seniors talent. You've started walking and making sure you're meeting your limits. And
Yeah.
then now you're saying you're going to play squash. You went on radio. Next, you're going to go on TV. Hopefully, who knows?
Now, collect all your friends, go with Julie to Antarctica.
Yes, collect all your friends and Julie will take you all to Antarctica.
No, doctor, we cannot even go to Macau. How can we go to Antarctica?
No, when the COVID open up,
When
you
the
know.
thing open, yeah.
When it opens up. So Julie, here you have your group of clients already. You're going to take them to Antarctica.
Yeah, I remember Bull and Julie, they were talking about the flight problem they had while going to Kuwait, via Kuwait or something, So I also remember I used to travel a lot. And whenever I travel, I used to have 2 drinks and go to sleep. Never mind what happens, I go to sleep. So
Very good.
it's what's best to do. But I know whenever there is a problem, you wake up then, But 2 drinks really help you. So whenever you fly, have 2 drinks, go to sleep.
So he says, whenever there's a problem, just go to sleep.
Yeah, have 2 drinks, go to sleep.
So we are going to request Mr. Lal to sing because he has been singing the last 3 to 4 months and he's been practicing. He has learning the piano. He's got a professional teacher to teach his voices to get even better and better. So we cannot leave the session without you singing something.
Okay, one para only, because tomorrow I have a full session, full song I'm gonna sing, but today only one para. Okay. होठों से छू लो तुम मेरा गीत अमर कर दो होठों से छू लो तुम मेरा गीत अमर कर दो हो जाओ गीत मेरे गीत अमर कर दो न उम्र की सीमा है ना जन्म का हो बंधन जब प्यार करे कोई तो देखो केवल मन नई प्रीत चला कर तुम मेरा गीत अमर कर दो थैंक यू
Baba, Baba, Baba.
One word, can I say a word to Julie?
yes
Yes.
yes
Julie, that song, the Indian songs, especially the old songs, the lyrics were written by poets. And song that Lal sang, I mean, you may ignore his singing, but the lyrics are amazing. They're very, very touching.
so you can
It's like poetry.
Beautiful.
translate that for her you can translate
Sorry?
it explain to her
Translate that for her.
Translate. Now, Lal, don't give me a difficult job. I already praised you now. No,
Veena can do it.
don't
Veena,
push me in a
Veena.
corner.
Love song, so Veena can do it.
होठों से छू लो तो मेरा
होठों
गीत
से।
अमर कर लो. Dr. Sanjay, I think you would be the best person to translate because your
It's
Hindi
all
is
about like what, like one person, like as you mentioned, like it's a poetic, right? So it's a poetry. So it's an expression of the feeling, non-verbal communication.
Okay.
Not saying something. So auto se chulo to means like it's just like it's not a kiss, but like touch to me through the lips, so that you can memorize my feeling forever.
Lovely.
So that's the whole thing. So like a slight touch of a lip can transform my feeling to you forever.
Ooh la la.
So
Nice.
something like that. So it go on that third
Exactly.
direction kind of thing.
So basically, it says there should be no age limitation, no age boundaries. Na umr ki seema ho, no, you're not bound by lives, that the births that you take. Mere geet. So just accept my love. There should be no limitations, no boundaries, no age limitations, nothing, and just be touched by my love.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Well done, Lal. That's amazing. Wow.
Thank you.
Yes, so he has been singing for sure, and he's rekindled his passion for singing, and he goes Facebook Live, and he makes sure, he's singing every Fridays, and people are waiting for him to be singing every Fridays. So do tune on to his Facebook.
Super. Gosh, when I sing, everybody leaves the room.
Wonderful. So this has been a beautiful session. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing all your lovely tips, your insights on how we should really age actively and with resilience, adapt, live positively. You all are such beautiful examples and such beautiful inspirations to really inspire people like me, people like who in their 50s plus, because I do see a lot of people in their 40s and 50s, they've given up, they kind of give up on life, not knowing what else is there to look forward to. But there's so much that one can do no matter what you are. So it's just a matter of opening up, being flexible, exploring new things, going beyond your limits, and really taking care of yourself, taking care of your lifestyle, making sure also you're taking care of your health and well-being. And it's so nice to learn from all of you. And you guys are such wonderful examples and inspiration indeed. And this is all what Naveda is actually: live life Naveda way. It is that we are taking care of human health, planet health, and social health as well. At the same time, at Naveda, why we tell people to come here, we empower them with knowledge, we inspire them to not only take care of their own health and well-being, to make sure that you're very mindful of the environment, taking care of the environment, and you're taking care of social disparity. Rightly said, Mrs. Poonam Mehta is, doing a PhD on studying social disparity. And this is where Naveda also is taking care of social disparity, because anyone who supports Naveda we are making sure that, people all the way from the farmers, all the way that, throughout the chain are being sustained, and that gap is only going smaller and smaller. So this is what Live Life Naveda Way is. It's a whole being living. It's taking care of your mental, physical, emotional, social, spiritual fitness. So if there's anything else that Dr. Sanjay would like to add to that, please feel free to do so.
I think like we cover everything, like so many beautiful things, like some, like always, like discussion is always very long, but within the discussion we get some keywords, and we got like, so for me keyword is knee surgery from a health point of view. Sports point of view, there's sports, squash, right? Antarctica, climbing the mountain, Kota Kanabalu, heard everything. Resilience, like faith, so many beautiful things. So we all are there. So wonderful. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
for
Julie.
attending.
By listening to you, I was really inspired. Now, I do come to Dubai occasionally,
Okay.
and I'll try and make a trip to Abu Dhabi.
Yes. And if you can't make the trip to Abu Dhabi, I'll make the drive to Dubai. Please, keep me in touch.
Okay.
And when you're arriving, we will have.
Okay. I'll get your details from Veena.
Yes, please do. Yes. Yeah.
It'll be a pleasure.
Super.
Just listening to you can be so inspiring. I don't know what,
With her.
A personal meeting. I don't know what kind of more inspiration we can get.
No, that's why I'm saying go prepare an Antarctica trip. That's much better.
Yes, why not? Actually, we were supposed to go on a cruise last year because of the whole family. We were going to Vancouver, and from there we were taking a trip to the Alaska.
So this time the Antarctica cruise, like go as a 20-year young boy, right? With the squad, the team.
I'll send you the details.
But tell me, Julie, how strenuous is a visit to Antarctica?
Not at all.
Well, I've taken 2 teams so far, one in 2012, and that was a group of 12 women, all breast cancer survivors. And some of them had had mastectomy, some of them double mastectomy, some of them were still going through the treatment. Basically, it can be as active or inactive as you like. It's a small expedition ship. It seats 114 passengers, so it's not the 2,000-3,000.
Okay, so it's just on the ship. You don't go on the land.
Oh no, you go on the land.
No, you go on the land.
Snowshoeing, you go Zodiac cruising, you can do a shore camp, you visit the research stations. I'll share the details. And actually we created a short documentary, 23 minutes documentary. I will send the link to.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And then that you can see the kind of different activities. But the diversity of people on the ship were anything from, I think the youngest was probably around 26, all the way up to people, in the sage, what I call the sage age of 70 plus, So yeah, no. I'll share the information.
But is at that height, is breathing easy, or you have to have some?
No. It's totally fine. No, you can go mountaineering, but that's not necessary. We flew from Dubai to Buenos Aires down to the tip of Argentina, a place called Ushuaia, and then went by ship across. So it's 11 days round
Okay.
trip. No altitude issues whatsoever. No. More people were seasick than anything else because of the place.
Well, I do visit Chile very often. I have an office in Chile. Are you familiar with Chile?
No, I'm not actually, but I'm sure I will be. I'm sure I will be.
I have been to Argentina also, but from the south of Chile, Antarctica is not very far.
No, not at all. Like, because like I used to work in Valdivia.
Okay, Valdivia.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's how, like, because that's what I said, like when we were working, it is more like a scientific expedition. But what Julie is saying, now it is easy for every, like there's a cruise, there's a tour, as a tourist, like from Argentina, you can go. And in future, you will see more. So like a common person also can go, have fun. And as say, like, you don't have to climb the mountain, just like walking on the same plateau. So no breathing issue, all those kind of things. You will get all the gears wearing up and all that. So don't worry about it.
Okay, so can we all smile for the camera?
Okay. It was a pleasure meeting you all and having this conversation. Very inspiring. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't forget to buy Blue Zones.
Veena is taking a picture.
Taking a picture. Smile. Smile. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you for.
Lal, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gulu. I hope you enjoyed.
Yes,
Yes, very much.
Yes.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Hope to see you soon for lunch.
Yes, we'll have lunch.
Very much.